Alright, so this is going to be another review. This is my first serial review. Just to give you a little background, since you probably turned this video off by now and you're not listening to this. When I was a teenager, I started out collecting baseball cards, and then I collected comic books, and then VHS tapes came out. I started collecting those. So part of my later teenage years, early 20-something years, I was addicted to these VHS serials from the golden age, 20s, 30s, and 40s. Whatever the case may be, it all started with Flash Gordon, Buster Crabbe. When I was a little kid, I loved watching that. And then, like I said, when I was older, like around 18, I started discovering VHS tapes of these serials. Flash Gordon, Captain America. No, not Captain America, Captain Marvel. They were mostly Republic VHS tapes. Republic had a lot of them. Purple Monster Strikes, Commander Cody. Those kind of serials, in black and white, of course. Glorious black and white. Then around around 2005, I got a Netflix account and I started renting DVDs. I think this is, well, I forget the names of the serials that I rented from Netflix, but anyway, I think this is the second serial that I've seen from Netflix. Since 2005. This one's called Batman from 1943, and the good thing about these kind of serials and cartoons from 1943, they show you what kind of racist kooks were in charge of the government at the time, namely Franklin Delano Roosevelt, Earl Warren, all the heroes of the so-called liberal left that were really closet communists all along, up until now. And I got in an argument with my mother about this, not coincidentally, because she said her professor at Chico made the prescient comment that Obama was going to send honest, law-abiding citizens to internment camps. I guess she was referring to FEMA camps, and my mother just automatically dismissed her as some kind of Tea Party nut, of course. Then I reminded my mother that Obama signed the NDAA, which authorizes him to intern Americans indefinitely without any due process. I also reminded her that the Japanese were interned in 1943 by her hero, Earl Warren, of course. So there's a lot of... by the way, she just dismissed me and said, you're scaring the kids or something. Anyway, that's a little sidebar with 1943 Japanese racism, and there's plenty of that in this Batman. It's prevalent in the cartoons also from 1943. Basically, this is about the immortal J. Carrol Naish, who was also in Dracula vs. Frankenstein. I think that was his last film from 1971. That was a great flick. But he plays this dude named Dr. Tito Daca. He's got the fake makeup with the slanted eyes, like this, and the phony mustache, the phony Japanese accent, and he keeps saying bonsai. I don't understand what significance bonsai has in the Japanese language, but yeah, it's kind of silly. I mean, one of Dr. Tito Daka's hoods kind of turns on him, and he says, I would expect something like that from the color of your skin or something, and it's supposed to be offensive, I guess, to today's generation, but looking back at it, I mean, it's just plain silly, because first of all, you know that the actor is a white dude, he's not Japanese, so it's like the dude is insulting somebody else, not Dr. Daka or whatever the hell his name is. And he's got a pretty cool looking kind of back room. It's like an amusement park, and the ride stops, and then you go through a secret panel, and there's Dr. Daka's office. He's formulating plans within the United States for for winning the war for the Axis powers, or whatever they called it back then. Yeah, it's kind of silly. It's all propaganda. I mean, there was no Dr. Daka spy colluding against Batman. It was all make-believe, so it's kind of part of the cheese factor. Anyway, this was the first appearance of the Batcave. It never appeared in the comic book. I was reading that on Wikipedia, I think. And it also has Robin in it, and Alfred, of course. So they come out of the Batcave through this what do you call it? It's kind of like a cuckoo clock or some kind of fancy clock, you know, really tall looking clock. So that's pretty cool. People complain that the Batcave was supposed to be dark, but it kind of makes Batman's suit look white. It looks really brightly lit. So there's that. There's a low budget factor involved. So Batman and Robin never directly fight with J. Carrol Naish or Dr. Tito Daka, whatever his name is. They fight with Dr. Daka's hoods, and he's even got electronic zombies. Like, he puts these weird looking hats on top of them, and then he starts doing these cheap like spinning fire wheels, and then smoke comes out of the thing, and the dude's like becomes a zombie, and it's pretty cool. You've also got the deadly alligator pit, which the dude who turned on Dr. Daka falls in, kind of stumbles in. And you've got a radium-powered death ray gun, which Batman gets a hold of, and you don't see much of it. I've only been through the first 10 episodes. I think Keene Duncan appears in episode 5 or 6, somewhere around there, as one of the zombies. So that's cool. He was in a lot of Ed Wood movies, Keene Duncan, later in the 50s and 60s. So there's that, and you know, I gave it 5 stars. Like I said, I've only seen 2/3 of it so far, but I'm on chapter 11 right now, I think, or maybe it's chapter 10, somewhere along there. I'll probably finish it up today and check it out. I mean, it's a great historical piece. It shows you the racism of the closet communists at the time, who were virulently anti-Japanese, even though FDR knew about Pearl Harbor, and the people that were being interned here in California were completely innocent, had nothing to do with Emperor Hirohito, which Dr. Daka refers to multiple times in this one. So yeah, it's a dark chapter in U.S. history. It's definitely something that you can point to when a so-called liberal turd tells you how great their political philosophy is, or how great President Obama is. You can just remind them that Democrats sent innocent Japanese people to internment camps, and that will pretty much spoil their day. Anyway, cool. So check it out. 5 stars. I think next DVD I have is Batman and Robin from 1949. So that should be interesting. Different actors, and I think I was reading that Batman keeps getting beat up a lot, which is true in this one too. He's like, there's a lot of phony cliffhangers in this one. Like, Batman crashes in a plane and he kind of stumbles out like nothing happened. So that's pretty funny. Good stuff. And you got the cheesy, blatantly altered cliffhangers that change from one episode to the next. So that's what I like about these. I think Spielberg probably ripped off Indiana Jones from a lot of these. So yeah, great stuff. I wish it was still around, but I guess it kind of died out with in the 40s. It's too bad. And a lot of the silent ones are non-existent. I mean, they're not around anymore. So that's too bad. I wish there were more around. I want to see all of them, really. I used to have a really thick book of just solely dedicated to serials. So I don't know what happened to that, but I wish I still had it. Anyway, cool stuff. Check it out. Laters.